All praises to the highest. The great I am, loving kindness, the holy great one, the power of the Yahudims. All praises to the all merciful Father, the one who was, the one who is, and the one who is to come. Family Shalom. All of our ancestors that were involved in prophecy were called priest scientists. These were not just simple men or simple women. Technology has always been among our people. And celestial technology have been at the forefront from the beginning, played a big role in our elevation. In the Gospel of Thomas, it says, "Have you understood the beginning that you look for the end?" And we know that in the Bible it says, "As it was in the days of Noah, so shall it be in the end." But as our consciousness have grown, we have uncovered what they have hidden. And it was as it was also in the days of Enoch, so also shall it be in the end. Because while Enoch city was being ascended, Noah's city was being descended into chaos, into wickedness. Before I go forward, I want to say thank you to the brother Jerome Johnson for putting me on to the Astrolabe several months ago. Wasn't ready to get into it yet. Wasn't time. But I kept that in my back pocket. Family, tonight we're here to discuss celestial technology. Technology that enabled all the prophets, all the seers, all the revelators, all the Melchizedeks, to do wonderful works on the earth. And we'll get into these works in a second. As we continue our conversation of the primordial light, we must discuss the astrolabe. Because as you're gonna see, it is at the center of our conversation tonight. So we're kind of not gonna start this presentation from the midpoint, and we'll work our way back from the beginning, and we'll go back the proper way. What is the astrolabe? The astrolabe is a calculation and pedagogical tool of Hebrew origin, not Greek. You see, I crossed the word out. The meaning of pedagogical is relating to teaching. So it's a teaching tool. It made it possible to solve astronomical problems or astronomy problems without any calculations. The astrolabe identified, for example, the time that the sun or the stars would rise or would set, and the sun's height at its highest point above the horizon. Now, etc. The reason why they put etc. is because of two things. Either they don't know what else it does, or they don't want you to know. They're limiting the information that they're giving to you. That's why the Most High says, study to show thyself approved. Now, Brother Johnson have sent me a host of information, and we're gonna get into one of them. But allow me to take you into the Zohar, to the Midrash, to the Talmud, to the Haggadah. Allow me to take you to Torah to show you where the astrolabe is being discussed, not as the astrolabe, however, as the primordial light. And family, remember, you are a spark of the primordial light. We'll get back to this. In Genesis 1, verse 3 and 4, God said, let there be light. And there was light. God saw that the light was good, and he separated the light from the darkness. This light that the Most High says, let there be, was different from the sun and the moon. The sun and the moon have not yet come into being. This light that the Most High said, let there be, came directly from the Most High. This is the primordial light. This is the light that gave total awareness, cosmic knowledge, direct influence. Let's get into this book, family, and explore a few passages to give us greater clarity of what we're here to discuss tonight. You're going to find out that the astrolabe, as it was in the beginning, is not as it is now. The amazing feat that the ancients, our ancestors, used to do with them are not being done today. Because this is a celestial technology. This is not a technology of men that can be manipulated. This one only gets activated when the Most High says so. So they may show you a version of what they have. Don't think for a moment that's the true astrolabe or that's the real thing. Oh, it may be the real thing, but it does not have the Spirit of God in it. The energy that would compel the vehicle to work, it's missing its engine. It doesn't have a battery. It's missing its gasoline. It's missing the primordial ingredient that would spark it to life to make it work. See, this technology cannot go into anybody's hands. You have to be selected to receive this one. Tonight, you're being presented with the information, but the Most I have to select you to receive this one. This is the chosen. Sacred. This is for the few hidden among the many, the fewest of the fewest of the fewest. Reimagining the Bible, the storytelling of the rabbis by Howard Schwartz. Every story has something that is concealed. And what is concealed is the hidden light. The book of Genesis says that God created light on the first day, the sun on the fourth day. What light existed before the sun? Tradition says this was spiritual light. And the highest hid the spiritual light for future use. Where was it hidden? The highest hid the primordial light in the stories of the Torah. Rabbi Nachman suggests that when a person delves deeply enough into the meaning of the Torah, he or she will at last reach a place where the hidden light shines forth in a moment of revelation. Legend says before the highest completely withdrew the primordial light from the world, he saved it. He saved a bit of it inside a jewel. And the highest gave this jewel to Adam and Eve, Yatzikat and Naba, when he expelled them from the Garden of Eden. Yatzikat and Kava took this jewel with them, and the light that shone from within it reminded them of all that they had lost. You see, when they were in Eden, they didn't need the jewel. They were dwelling in primordial light. They had cosmic awareness. It is said that Adam filled the entire universe, meaning that his consciousness was connected to the Most High. He could see from one part of the earth to the other part of the earth, from one part of the universe straight through the other part of the universe. There was no barrier for him. His glory was higher than the angels, because he was created in the image and the likeness of the highest. The history of this jewel known as the Tizohar is as fantastic as is that of the primordial light itself. Tizohar is a word that means window. The Tizohar means light, window, opening. The Most High gave Noah the Tizohar, which is being identified as the primordial light. Most High, the highest, directed Noah to build an ark. And the highest directed Noah to put this jewel, this Tizohar, in the ark. The problem is the word Tizohar only appears in the Bible once, in Genesis 6, verse 16. We have to go into other records to find out what it really means. It is also translated sometimes as a dome. Moses says, "A light shall you make to the ark, a window shall you make to the ark," or make a skylight for the ark. So the Tizohar was intended to refer to some source of light, and indeed it did. The Midrash reinterpreted the Bible verse. You see, to really understand Torah, we have to go into the Zohar, we have to go into the Midrash, we have to go into the Talmud. They are like, the Zohar is the commentary to the Torah, right? So the best way to explore the Zohar is to actually begin with Torah. Zohar, which is the main book of the Kabbalah, is a commentary to the Torah. Also, the Midrash and the Talmud, they go more in depth as to what is discussed in the Torah, in the Bible. Give you sort of like a deeper spiritual meaning to many of the verses. So the Midrash want to give you a deeper meaning to what was said in Genesis 1. So they reinterpreted the verse to say this: the Most High, the highest, said to Noah, "Place jewels and precious stones in the ark, that they may give you light as bright as noon." So when you go to the Book of Mormon, page 31, depends on what book you have, there is a story about the brother of Jared, which is Enoch. When he wanted to come to the fourth part, he climbed a very high mountain and cut for himself 16 stones, clear as glass. And he had a conversation with the highest, and the highest showed himself to Aki, that's the brother of Jared, Aki. And those stones, when the highest touched those stones, they were infused with the primordial light. And Aki was instructed to put them in the barges that he had built on those ships that he needed to sail to the fourth part, which is here, the land of the west. So when Noah placed those precious jewels or the precious stones in the ark, they lit the ark, made it as bright as day. Also, this Aki, brother of Jared, story is also found in the Book of Remembrance of Aki. In other accounts in the Midrash, it says that it was a precious stone that gave light to them. This latter meaning of the precious stone that gave light to the ark grew into the long legend that identify the Tizohar as a jewel which contains a remnant of the primordial light, which we're going to explore thoroughly. So we read, once the Tizohar, the glowing jewel, had entered Jewish legend, it became the basis of what might be called a chain midrash. This is a midrash that uses some kind of sacred artifact to link together several biblical generations. So now they're gonna use the Tizohar to link several different generations from Enoch all the way down to Joseph. From Enoch to Noah to Shem to Abraham to Moses all the way down to Joseph. So this is the artifact, this Tizohar that it was in the beginning, but it turned into an astrolabe as the generation progresses. We'll see the progression of this technology. All this information, all this technology is being handled by the angels, one of which is the angel Raziel, as we know. That's the angel that one of the angels, probably the primary angel that is in charge of revelations and esoteric knowledge. Angel Raziel. It is said that the glowing jewel was handed down by Adam. He received it from Raziel, angel Raziel. Adam received it. Adam and Eve, Natsikar and Naba, received it from angel Raziel. And Yatsikar and Kava, Adam and Eve gave the jewel to their son Seth. And from Seth it reached Enoch, then Methuselah, then Lamech, then Noah. So when the Most High, the highest, told Noah to put the jewel, the Tizohar, in the ark, Noah knew exactly what the highest meant. And thus Noah hung the Tizohar from a beam in the ark, where it illuminated the ark. During the whole 12 months that Noah was in the ark, he did not require the light of the sun by day or the light of the moon at night. But he had a polished gem which he hung. When it was dim, he knew that it was day. And when it shone, he knew that it was night. This polished gem, this jewel, this precious jewel that Noah hung in the ark was the Tizohar, which contained the primordial light. Now let's keep going. We're going to get a little deeper here. It is also recorded that the sacred jewel reached Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, and Joseph. You see now? Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, and Joseph, they didn't mention the other brothers. I'm not sure why. But we'll discuss Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, and Joseph. The Talmud tells us that Abraham, the patriarch, wore on his neck a glowing stone, which he used as an astrolabe. And whosoever was sick and peered into that stone, that person was healed. Abraham, the patriarch, wore around his neck a glowing stone, a precious jewel, which he used as an astrolabe. And whosoever was sick and peered into that stone was healed. Every time you hear astrolabe, you hear astronomy, 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 telescopes and such. Whoever was sick, now this is how massive and very important these artifacts were. or are still to this day. We know Abraham was a righteous brother when he received this jewel. It connected with his consciousness, because Abraham contains within himself the primordial light, a spark of the primordial light of the Most High. And this jewel also contains the primordial light of the Most High, a little bit of it. That's all it needed. Abraham had cosmic consciousness, celestial knowledge, revered. And this was also a stone of healing. Whoever it was, peeked at the stone, peered into that stone, was healed. When Abraham passed away from the world, the Holy One, blessed be He, hung the astrolabe, this precious jewel, on the wheel of the sun. But in other versions of the legend, it insists that the precious jewel, the Tizohar, the astrolabe, continued to be handed down, which it did. So we're gonna go into the book of Joshua, and we're gonna find out some information on the book of Joshua, and then we're gonna work our way back to Noah. Okay, now before we move on the book of Joshua, let's go back to Noah. You see, this is all they tell you, that Noah hung the astrolabe, the precious jewel. It wasn't even being referenced as an astrolabe in the generation of Noah, which is contemporary to Abraham, because Abraham lived in the time of Noah. Abraham was taught by Shem. He resided with Shem. And when you go into the Urantia Bible, there's an extensive conversation or discourse with the relationship that Melchizedek had with Shem, with Abraham, and how they worked together to make it happen. You get it. You kind of get a different view of who Abraham was in that book, and the reason why it took him so long to have a child of his own. Now we'll discuss that in another video. I just want to let you know that. Now, when we go into this book, the Sefer Harazim, the book of mysteries, as you all know, this book was given to us almost six months now or so. And when I presented the information, at first I had trepidation because there's a lot in this book. But today we're here to revisit what we read before. And we're going to revisit this information with fresh lenses, with the information of the primordial light and the astrolabe. It makes perfect sense. So we're here reading the Sefer Harazim, the book of the mysteries, which was given to Noah by the angel Raziel from the Library of Congress. This is a book from the books of the mysteries, which was given to Noah, son of Lamech, son of Methuselah, son of Enoch, son of Jared, son of Mahalalel, son of Canaan, son of Enosh, son of Seth, son of Adam, by Raziel, the angel, in the year when Enoch, or when Raziel came into the ark, but before his entrance. Forgive me, not Enoch. In the year when Noah came into the ark, but before he entered the ark. Now, all these patriarchs I just mentioned know about the astrolabe. They know about the Tizohar. And all of them were trained or were taught on how to use it properly. And Noah inscribed upon the book of mysteries or Noah inscribed it upon a sapphire stone. So now they identify what kind of stone it was. This precious jewel was a sapphire stone that was very distinctly, very different. It wasn't like every sapphire stone that you would see. This one was a little different. All right. And we know that inscribing words on stone was a thing of the ancients. That's why they did stone tablets. This stone tablet was inscribed upon a sapphire stone, and Noah learned from it how to do wondrous deeds. All right, so now when we read in the beginning of the video the introduction that they gave us on the astrolabe, it was nothing wondrous. But you're going to read here on this document what Noah learned to do with the astrolabe. This is etc. that they mentioned, but they didn't go into. And Noah learned from it how to do wondrous deeds. And he learned secrets of knowledge and categories of understanding and thoughts of humility, concepts of counsel. Noah learned how to master the investigation of the strata of the heavens. You see that? He learned to go about in all that is in their seven abodes. To observe all the astrological signs of the heavens. Noah learned how to examine the course of the sun. He learned how to explain the observations of the moon and how to know the paths of the Great Bear. Noah learned about Orion, and he learned about the Pleiades. Noah learned how to declare the names of the overseers, which these are angelic hierarchies. These are angels, entities. He learned how to name. He learned how to declare the names of the overseers of each and every firmament and the realms of their authority. And by what means? How he gonna make it happen? By what means these overseers and the authorities, by what means they can be made to cause success in each thing. There was no miss. There was hit in every endeavor. We gonna have success. This is why we, every single one of us, must awaken our souls within us. In the Torah, or in the New Testament, quote unquote, it says, walk in the primordial light as he walks in the primordial light. Walk in the light as he walks in the light. This is why we must develop our consciousness so we can grow cosmically, so we can awaken our souls within us, so we can connect with the light of the highest, so that we can have success in everything. Even if we don't have this sapphire stone, even if we don't have a tizohar or an astrolabe, which you can build your own. However, you, because you are the portal, because you are the sacred site, because you are the temple, you can become the tizohar when you wake up your soul within you and make that connection with the highest. Noah learned by what means they can be made to cause success in each thing asked of them, and what are the names of their attendants, and what oblations are to be poured out to them, and what is the proper time at which they will hear prayer. All right, the Arabs also use the astrolabe to determine which proper time to pray also. And we'll probably cover that. All right. What is the proper time at which they will hear prayer so as to perform every wish of anyone who comes near them in purity? Now, you know how I showed you guys the schedule for the angels every hour, every day, every hour there's an angel over it. This probably came from this information. Because that's the proper time for prayer, and at which time they will hear prayer. When during the day that your prayer can be most effective, so that what you are petitioning for can be granted to you or not. As to perform every wish of anyone who comes near them in purity. You see now, if performing your wish, you must be in a state of purity. You can't just approach and expect things to happen as you are. Sometimes it takes a moment of fasting, a moment of refraining from things, and purify your physical body. Noah learned from the astrolabe, from the Tizor, from this precious jewel, which was a sapphire stone, which he received from the angel Raziel. Noah learned rituals that cause death and rituals that preserve life, to understand the evil and the good, to search out the right seasons, to search out the right moments for magical rites. You can't just do magic anytime you want. Certain magic are done when the moon is at its ascension, and certain ones are done when the moon is waning. Certain days are preferable than other days. You can't just do magic anytime you want, or any types of magic anytime you want. No, Noah learned. If Noah learned, you must learn. You're not greater than Noah. Because you want success in everything. You want your wish to be granted. So you have to learn. Pedagogical. You got to learn. Study, learn to show thyself approved. Noah learned. He searched out the right season and moments for magical rites, to know the time to give birth, to know the time to die. That did you know that you can find out the exact day, month, year that you can die? Now I don't know if you want to know all that, but if you live 600, 700, 900 years like Noah, you might want to know the day you live in the earth. But on average, everybody live about 80, 70, 90, 100. Under the right circumstance, science says that you can live up to 120. But on average, people go out very early nowadays. But he learned the time to die, the time to strike, the time to heal. Not learning time to die for himself. He can also learn the time to die for an enemy, for a foe. Like, all right, look, I'm not going to go to war with this dude. He's going to die next month. Let nature take care of this rival. All these Canaanite kings that Jacob and used to go against. They had knowledge on these people. Because he also had this sapphire stone, this astrolabe. We're going to get into it. Okay? He learned, or he searched out the time to strike and the time to and the time to heal. He learned to interpret dreams and visions. Now, when you read that, you get a picture of Joseph. Right? So we'll leave this here and we'll go to Joseph. Or we'll finish this and we'll go to Joseph, because Joseph in Egypt used the sapphire stone to interpret dreams and visions. Noah learned that. See, it began with the patriarchs first, then it passed down. This artifact linked different generations, as we read. He learned to interpret dreams and visions, to arouse combat. See, in the Bible, when you read the Bible, it simplifies everything. Everything you read in the Bible, it's like, oh, God himself came through. You know, they prophesied just like that, but how? How did they do it? What is the backstory of what I'm reading? I'm always interested to know, how does it work? What is the backstory? What's going on in the back end? What makes this work, right? So Noah learned how to interpret dreams and visions with this precious jewel, to arouse combat, to quiet wars, to rule over spirits, to rule over demons, to send them wherever he wished. Now, you see that right there? Solomon didn't do it first. No, he learned from the best. Remember, Solomon prayed that the Most High will give him wisdom, knowledge, understanding on how to govern his people. Solomon prayed and wisdom was given to him. Okay? And not just wisdom, we're going to find out. He learned how to rule over spirits and over demons, to send them wherever he wished. They say wherever you wish. That means that you can learn that too. But you need your astrolabe, or you need to become one. So they will go out like slaves to watch the four winds of the earth, to be learned in the speech of thunderclaps. Now, that's a whole different study. To tell the significance of lightning flashes, to foretell what will happen in each and every month. Having possession of the astrolabe, this sapphire stone, this artifact, this celestial technology, will enable you to do all these things. To foretell what will happen in each and every month, to know the affairs of each and every year. This is how the prophets, the seers, did it in the Bible. They had access to an astrolabe, celestial technology. The Bible left that out. They simplified the Torah. He learned to foretell what will happen in each and every month, and how to know the affairs of each and every year, whether for plenty or for hunger. Again, we are being brought back to Joseph in Egypt. This is how Joseph was able to tell, to interpret the dream that foretold about the drought. Noah was able to do the same thing, because Noah came first. He learned whether for harvest or for drought, whether for peace or for war, to be as one with the awesome ones, and to comprehend the songs of heaven. Now, who are the awesome ones? You can say they are angels, but who are the awesome ones, particularly if you are familiar with the story of the Rechabites, sons of Jonadab, sons of Rechab? Okay? I have several lessons on that. They are also referenced as the awesome ones, radiant ones. They live on earth too. They live a very long life. Just as Noah did, to be as one with the awesome ones. You see that? But the Rechabites came way after Noah. He learned how to comprehend the songs of heaven. Family? Isn't that beautiful? Wouldn't we want to know how to comprehend the songs of heaven? And from the wisdom of the secrets of this book, Noah learned and understood how to make gopher wood. Now, this is the wood that he used to build the ark. He learned how to make gopher wood. He learned how to make the wood, turn it into an ark, so he can escape the flood waters, the flood of Atuma. All right. So now let's keep reading this, because now we live in Noah and we're gonna go into Solomon. All right, let's keep going. Everything that went inside the ark, Noah learned from the astrolabe. He placed the book in a golden cabinet and brought it first into the ark to learn from it the times of the day, to investigate from it the times of the night. That's why he said when it shone, he knew it was night, and when it dimmed, he knew he was day. And in which period he should arise to pour out entreaties. And when he came forth from the ark, Noah used the book that he received from the angel Raziel, which is the astrolabe, the sapphire stone, which is very distinct. He learned from this book, this Tizohar, this primordial light, all the days of his life. He learned from this book all his life, and at the time of his death, Noah handed the book down to Abraham, which you already know. He wore it around his neck as an astrolabe, and anyone who peered inside of it was healed of their diseases. And Abraham passed it down to Isaac, Isaac to Jacob. Jacob passed it down to the patriarch Levi, and Levi passed it down to Kohath, Kohath to Amram, Amram to Moses, and Moses to Joshua, Joshua to the elders to the prophets to the sages, thus generation by generation until Solomon the king arose. See, this is how the elders, the prophets, the sages, the seers, this is how they all learned to do the things that is recorded that they did in scripture, in Torah, by using and by having access to this book of mystery. And the books of the mysteries were disclosed to King Solomon. And King Solomon became very learned in books of understanding. And he ruled over everything he desired. He ruled over all the spirits. He ruled over all the demons that wander in the world. And from the wisdom of this book of mysteries, he imprisoned and he released. He sent out and he brought in. He built and prospered. He took full advantage of what he could accomplish with the book of mystery, which was inscribed on the sapphire stone, which Abraham wore on his neck as an astrolabe, which Noah used all the days of his life, which he learned from everything he knew, which he passed down to all the patriarchs, all his children, all he knew. This book went all the way down to Solomon. Perhaps this was the ring that he had. Perhaps in addition to this sapphire stone, he also had a ring. Or perhaps this was the ring. Remember when the last week in the video I did, Solomon gave his right hand man, Abiathar, the ring to go find this primordial light, and the ring led him to the light. So with that understanding, overstanding, the ring was different from the primordial light, the stone that he sent Abiathar to look for. So Solomon had different types of artifacts. Many books were handed down to Solomon, but this one, this Tizohar, this astrolabe, this primordial light, this awesome, wonderful, magnificent, spectacular sapphire stone was found more precious, more honorable, more difficult than any one of them. This one was different. So now you kind of like getting a greater understanding of this book, of this record that we read almost half a year ago. Now we go back to this book, the title, the Reimagining the Bible, the Storytelling of the Rabbis. We return back to this page down here, where it said that the sacred jewel reached Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, and Joseph. Okay? So we go down when it says, when Abraham passed away from the world, the Holy One, blessed be he, hung the astrolabe on the wheel of the sun, and it was handed down. So there is a story in the book of Joshua, which we're going to get into. Joseph's servants, all right, well, in the book of Joshua, it was Joseph who told his servants to put the cup inside the bag of Benjamin so that he could test his brothers to see if they would fight for for Benjamin or not, if they would treat Benjamin like they treated him when he was young. So what happened? Genesis 44:5, the explanation is that Joseph discovered that if he put the tizahar in that cup that was found in the sack of Benjamin, Joseph knew by using it that way, when he put into it, he could divine the future as well as interpret dreams. And that is how he was able to interpret the dreams of the butler and the baker when he was in the dungeon. And that is how also he was able to interpret the dreams of Pharaoh and predicted the famine, 7 years of plenty and 7 years of famine. And before his death, Joseph had those tizahar placed in his coffin, which was later found by Moses. Now, I have the record of how Moses found the tizahar. Over here, they just told you he found it, all right, in the coffin of Joseph. Maybe we'll get into that. Maybe I'll cover that too. Who knows? Moses recovered recovered. All right, let's go back. Forgive me. Before his death, Joseph had the tizahar placed in his coffin, which was later found by Moses with the help of Sarah Bat Asher. Who is she? We'll come back to her in a second. Moses recovered the jewel from the coffin and hung it inside the tabernacle of the ark, where it became the first primordial light, the Ner Tamim. That's what that means, primordial light. Later, the jewel was said to have been hung in the temple, where it remained until the temple was destroyed, in the temple of Solomon. Even then, the tizahar does not disappear from Hebrew folklore, but it appears again and again in the most unexpected places, as it is reappearing here tonight. Who was Sarah Bet Asher, who helped Moses find the tizahar, the astrolabe, in Joseph's coffin? Who was this woman? Well, she was, because we're going to talk about certain things here, she was the one that the brothers asked to sing a song when they came from Egypt after they met with Joseph, their brother. And upon their return, they couldn't just tell the news to Jacob, because he probably would take it the wrong way. Probably wouldn't believe them. So they asked her to sing a song and play a music instrument. So she was a musician. So she was playing the song for Jacob. And as Jacob heard over and over what she was repeating, her words were agreeable to his ears. And he listened. Number 97, page 121, book of Joshua, page 121, book of Joshua, number 97. And Jacob listened while Bet Asher repeated the words twice and 3 times. And joy entered the heart of Jacob at the sweetness of her words. And the Spirit of God was upon Jacob, and he knew that her words were true. And what did Jacob do? He blessed her with immortality. He said unto her, my daughter, may death never prevail over you. May death never prevail over you. Only speak before me as you have spoken, for you have gladdened me with all my words. Now, how long was Jacob from the time of Moses? From the time of Moses to Jacob, it was a while. Now, the astrolabe, so that means she lived a very long time. She lived up to the time of Moses, because she helped Moses find the astrolabe. So she had immortality. In the Midrash, you learn that she never really died. She ascended to the heavens, to the Garden of Eden, alive, just like Enoch and Elijah and But continuing with the astrolabe. We are back. We are still in the book of Joshua, page 115. When Benjamin and the brothers went to Egypt, Joseph had a conversation with Benjamin. He immediately recognized who Benjamin was because they had the same mother. So Joseph had his men bring Benjamin to him. He ordered them to bring before him his map of the stars, whereby Joseph knew all the times. And Joseph said unto Benjamin, I have heard that the Hebrews are acquainted with all wisdom. Do you know anything of this map of the stars? And Benjamin said, your servant knows. Your servant is knowing also. Not only this, in all the wisdom which my father taught me. Remember, Jacob had the astrolabe. He had that sapphire stone. He had that precious jewel which had the primordial light. This is why in the other book they mention Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Joseph. Now Benjamin. Okay? So Jacob taught Benjamin his son. He said, your servant is knowing also in all the wisdom which my father Jacob taught me. And Joseph said unto Benjamin, look now at this instrument which was the astrolabe. Look now at this instrument which had the maps of all the stars in it. Look now at this instrument and understand where thy brother Joseph is in Egypt, who you said went down to Egypt. And Benjamin beheld that instrument with the map of the stars of heaven. And he was wise and looked therein to know where his brother was. And Benjamin divided the whole land of Egypt into 4 divisions. And he found that he was sitting upon the throne before him. Forgive me. And Benjamin, after he divided the whole land of Egypt into 4 sections, 4 divisions, he found out that he, the one who was sitting upon the throne before him, was his brother Joseph. And Benjamin wondered greatly. And when Joseph saw that his brother Benjamin was so astonished, he said unto Benjamin, what's going on, bro? Why are you astonished? And Benjamin said unto him, I can see by this astrolabe, this instrument which contains the maps of the stars in it, that Joseph, my brother, sits right here with me upon the throne. And Joseph said unto Benjamin, I am Joseph, thy brother. Do not reveal this thing unto your brothers. Okay? Not yet. Not yet. Don't tell them nothing. So he told them who he was. Because he knew that he would know how to use the instrument. This is the reason why he had him use the instrument, because he knew he would know. Okay? Because he knew. So now, we return to the astrolabe. Let's learn a little bit more now on the astrolabe itself. Let's go back to this. Astronomy. Astronomy. Astro, stars, celestial, bodies, maps of the stars, study of the celestial bodies, astronomy, telescopes. This is why NASA and everybody got telescopes. They want to know what's going on up top. The instruments that made it possible to understand the universe. So let's go into this article here I found on YouTube. This is a picture of the Aurora Borealis. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. Okay? Let's go. The astrolabe is a calculation and learning tool of Hebrew origin from the time of Adam. From the very beginning, when the Moses says, let there be light. The astrolabe made it possible to solve astronomic problems without any calculations. It identified, for example, everything I discussed before in whatever they tell you here. This is another picture of the astrolabe from the 9th century. From the 9th century onward, the astrolabe was commonly used by the Arabs, Persian astronomers, mainly to accurately determine the precise time to pray, just like Noah did. Okay? So, this is a map of the stars. Okay? You could see right here is Ophiuchus on Sekhmet and Imhotep. This is a Greek word. This is a hijack. They hijack Sekhmet and Imhotep, which is Joseph, and they put Ophiuchus. So this is a recent astrolabe. You could see other names here. This is a map of all the stars. Okay? Jupiter. What's it? Buddhist. Something. Whatever that is. Rectus. Pisces over here. Okay, this is Pisces, this is Aries, this is Taurus, this is Gemini. Okay, it has a map of the stars over here. It has a month. This is Virgo, this is Libra. You have Scorpio over here. Okay, and you have Sagittarius over here, and you also have the months. All right, so the ancient one would be in Hebrew, and it would have the right months. It would have Sekhmet, Imhotep, whatever it was back then. It will have the proper dimensions. This as intricate as it looks, it's not accurate. But this is how it would look, per se. Let's keep going. All right, this is another picture here in the Museum of Arts, somewhere in France. Here, the movable open work part that joins the stars and the sun, is divided into months with the signs of the zodiac, and it has 43 stars. So over here, this is like they take it apart and they show the different parts of it, right? You see, this is why the Most High told Abraham, stop gazing at the stars, man. You don't have your astrolabe. Stop gazing at the stars to determine whether or not you're gonna have a child or not. Stop gazing at the stars to determine your natal chart. You don't have cosmic consciousness just yet. I have not given to you this astrolabe. Or the angel Raziel or Noah haven't given this artifact to you yet. Stop gazing at the stars, man. You don't have celestial knowledge. So all your astrology. All right. This is a map. This is the same map. Okay. This is a different picture of it. This is a sundial, which is also probably an astrolabe also. The sundial dates back to early antiquity. All right. I've seen a few sundials in my days. All right. Let's see. This is a portable sundial right here. This is several varieties of luxury sundials. Very important. A sundial is a mini astrolabe in your hand. A sundial is very accurate. All right. There's an account in the Bible where the Most High rolled back time. What was his king name? I forgot the king name, but he rolled back time. You know what I mean? He Most High rewind time right there. The sundial was used in that rolling back of time. During this period, several varieties of luxury sundials were developed, just like this portable sundial made of ivory, probably over here in the 17th century also. Okay, these people back then were very intelligent, man. We not as intelligent as they were at all. No, we are regressing. The dollar Benjamin Scott, 1688-1751, dating from 1713, exhibited at the Museum of Arts in France. One of the benefits of the double dial was that it was easy to orient the device in the true north-south direction simply by rotating it. It functions as a sort of a compass. Yeah, it is a highly intellectual compass. So this is a hijack right here, invented in the 18th century by John Headley. Nah, he ain't invent nothing. We're not even gonna read that garbage. All right, this is a very intricate tool right here. Right, this is probably part of the astrolabe. What they say here. By taking at least 2 height measurements and doing a calculation, you can obtain geographical coordinates of your location, longitude, latitude, provided that you have a correctly set watch. Now that got me thinking. Christopher Columbus probably had access to an astrolabe because he received the longitude and the latitude from some dude that he met 40 years prior. He received those correct longitude and latitudes to the 4th part. He probably had access to the astrolabe. Barnabas, the great seafarer, probably had access to the astrolabe because our people were great astronomers and they were sovereign on the ocean. All right? All our ancestors, down to our ancestors in Haiti, Jean-Jacques Dessalines, Toussaint Louverture, Capois L'Amour, all the ancestors down in South America, everybody had access to this. The Mayans had access to this. The Olmecs and them, everybody had access to this as long as they referenced the more reverence God, they reverence the highest. He would give them access to proper navigational tools, which is the astrolabe. All right, these dudes don't know what the hell they're doing. Look at this little garbage in their hand. All right, French navigator, La Pérouse. Check us out of here, man. All right, Galileo telescope. Look how simple that thing is. Look at how simple Galileo telescope is. You know, this is simpleton. You can't compare it to the primordial light of the astrolabe, the sapphire stone. Okay, this is a book in Latin. I don't know what it says, family. I could read it, but it would sound like gibberish. The discoveries he made with his telescope at the end of that year were published in 1610. They turned the world of astronomy upside down. What did he make? So this is the discovery, quote unquote, Galileo made. What did he say? He said the 4 moons orbiting the planet Jupiter were undoubtedly his greatest discovery. So he found out what all the ancients already knew. That Jupiter have a bunch of moons orbiting its sphere, its orbit. All right, so he found out that there were 4 moons orbiting Jupiter. All right, congratulations. Galileo estimated that his telescope magnified 20 times. The magnification effect depends on the diameter of the lens, all that other stuff. So it's not an astrolabe, bro. It's just a little telescope. It's simple. Okay. So this look intricate right here. This is okay. So family, you go through all of that. I think we're done here. This is a this is an article in French up to meteorologists or whatever they are. All right, this exact thing right here, the orrery, or stands for light. This picture on the right is in Manhattan, in Columbus Circle. We went there over a year ago. Not sure if I showed a picture in the video that I took. And when we went there over a year ago, this same thing is in Columbus Circle right here. All right, the orreries, mechanical instrument used to demonstrate for demonstration purposes. They were common in England from the 18th century, and they made it possible to show students and the public the revolution of the planets around the sun. So this became your globe, right? This became your globe probably, right? All right, this is another one here. What else? This is the collection of scientific instruments on show at the Museum of Arts and Métier makes it possible to retrace certain major advances in astronomy research, like the universe it seeks to study. Astronomy offers infinite possibilities, from amateur practices to the advanced major technologies that define space exploration. So now this is a great article. Okay, I'm grateful to have found this. All right. So now let's check out one that the brother Jerome sent. Let's see. So this is one of the hundreds of research document I received from Brother Jerome Johnson. Okay, so this is making your own, right? So it has, these are the different parts of the astrolabe. The astrolabe, the mother back, the mother front, unequal hours, equal hours, unequal hours 2, shadow scale, extreme astrolabes, epilogue, acknowledgments. And he goes in here, the history. Astrolabes are elaborate astronomical instruments combining a mechanical movement or model of the sky's rotation. What is an astrolabe? An elaborate astronomical instrument. And what does it do? It combines a mechanical model of the sky's rotation with a simple sight, which can be used to make observations of the elevation of objects above the horizon. Above the horizon. This is why Mosiah told Abraham, you are above what you see, what you are beyond that. You were created in the kingdom of light. Stop gazing at the stars. You don't know what you're looking at. You don't have the astrolabe. Whatever you find out from your natal chart is inaccurate. These put together, these tools, see, let me repeat that again. It can be used to make observations of the elevation of objects above the horizon. Everything you see is below the horizon or at the horizon line. This take you beyond that. Put together, these tools allow the user to tell time, identify objects in the sky, and predict when objects will rise and set. Everything I mentioned in the Sefer HaRazim. Okay, everything I mentioned in the Sefer HaRazim, it will help you do. Okay? In the Middle Ages, astrolabes were the most sophisticated astronomical instruments in widespread use, a position which they held for nearly 2,000 years, the first 2,000 years, all right? Remember that book, The First 2,000 Years? Yes, it held that prestigious position with those highly intellectual people who lived in Lemuria and Atlantis. Oh, here's a hijack. From the time of their invention by Hipparchus. No. Whoever this dude is, Hipparchus, unless he's Raziel, unless he's the Most High, he didn't invent the astrolabe. So this is a lie, a hijack. We're not gonna settle for that right there. So let's make the correction. Hipparchus did not invent the astrolabe, okay? Do not lie to people here. All right? So let's keep going. So this is we're not even gonna read this garbage here. The information that the brother sent me, I'm grateful for it, but what they're writing here is a lie. So this is when you try learning to make your own. This is how you can do it. Step 1, step 2, step 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, all the way down. You can learn to make your own astrolabe. Okay? Learn to make your own astrolabe. Learn to become it yourself. Learn to become that portal that you are. Learn to harmonize yourself with the highest, where he already put inside of you a spark of divinity, a spark of the primordial light, which is inside of you. That's why in the Korban it says, awake your soul within you. You have slumbered too long. This is the time to awaken your soul. This is not the time to stay asleep. All right? This is a time of cosmic awareness, a consciousness ascension and descension. This is not a time to sleep, family. This is a time to study, to meditate, okay? To connect with the highest, to connect with the angels in righteousness, so that revelations and knowledge, Yakashic records, can be revealed to you. Let's go now to the book of Revelations. Letter to the churches, Revelation 3. Mosiah says, and unto the angel of the church in Sardis write these things which he that has the 7 spirits of God and the 7 stars. I know that it works. That you have a reputation to be alive. You have a name that you live, but you really are dead, huh? Let's get a different version. Let's see if I could get you a different version of this. Let me see. I like to read the Bible in different versions. No American Bible. Let's see. Let's see. Boom. To the angel of the church in Sardis, write: He who has the 7 spirits of God and the 7 stars says this: I know your deeds. You have a name that you are alive, and yet you are dead. Okay, family? This is a letter to you. You have a reputation. You have a name that you are alive, but you really are dead. Moses says, constantly alert and strengthen the things that remain. Be alert, family. Strengthen what remains, which were about to die. He says to the church, for I have not found your deeds completed in the sight of my God. So remember what you have received and heard, and keep it and repent. All right? Remember, family, tonight what you have received and heard, keep it, meditate upon it. Repent that you don't have it. All of us, myself included. Then if you are not alert, I will come like a thief, and you will not know at what hour I will come to you. But you have a few people in Sardis. You have a few people in Babylon who have not soiled their garments, and they will walk with me in white linen. Family, you know, there's a whole frequency on the clothes that you wear. We'll get into that some other time. And they will walk with me in white, for they are worthy. The one who overcomes will be clothed the same way in white garments. And I will not erase his name from the book of life. And I will confess his name before my Father and before my Father's angels. Whoever, the one who has an ear, let him hear what the Spirit says to the churches. Okay? Let him hear what the Spirit says to the churches. And we go down to the church of Laodicea. Moses says, I know your deeds, that you are neither hot or cold. I wish that you were cold. I wish that you were hot. Because you are lukewarm and neither hot nor cold, I will vomit you out of my mouth, family. Make a decision. Okay? Because you say I'm rich, I have become wealthy. You say you know. You have all the knowledge. You don't want any more knowledge. You're rich. Whatever you have will be taken from you if you have that type of mindset. But Moses say you don't know that you are wretched, miserable, poor, blind, and naked. So I advise you to buy from me gold, refined by fire, so that you may become rich, and white garments, so that you may clothe yourself, and the shame of your nakedness will not be revealed. And eye salve to apply to your eyes, so that you may see, because you think you see. No, you don't. You're not seeing properly. You gotta see through the primordial light of truth, the celestial light, the first light created, the spectacular light that provides total knowledge, total awareness, cosmic knowledge, the divine light that radiates from the Most High. Most High said, who is like my people, Yasharala Yahudim, one nation on the earth? Who is like unto you, family chosen from above all that the Most High has seen, above the horizon he chose you? He says, Mosiah says, look, behold, I stand at the door and knock. I stand at the door knocking. If anyone hears my voice and opens the door, I will come and sup with him. I will come into him and I will dine with him and he with me. And the one who overcomes, I will grant to him to sit with me on my throne. As I also overcame and sat with my Father on his throne. The one who has an ear. Do you have an ear, family? Then hear what the Spirit says to the churches. Hear what the Spirit says to the churches. In the beginning, God said, let there be light, and there was light. And God saw that the light was good, and he separated the light from the darkness. Hold on, I almost forgot. Let's go to the Haggadah. Pesach decoded. Let's go see how Moses used the primordial light, because he also had a sapphire stone on his staff. So we read from the Kabbalah Haggadah. I didn't take the page, but I did this before. But now we have greater understanding. We have knowledge we didn't have before. From the time of creation, the staff of Moses was charged with the power of the light force of the Creator. The primordial light, the spectacular light, the light that gives cosmic consciousness, the light that enabled Adam to see from one part of the universe to the other part of the universe. The light that gives cosmic awareness, the light of the Most High, which emanates from the Most High. Cosmic knowledge light from the time of creation, from the beginning. The staff of Moses, already created for him, set aside for him, was charged with the power of the light force of the Creator, engraved on the staff. In addition to being charged with the primordial light, that sapphire stone, engraved on the staff of Moses were also the Shem, Him, Foresh, the Shem, Vayiset, Vayet, the 72 names of God. So that means there were 260 names written on that staff. In addition to that, the 42-letter name of God, specifically the Anabekos. On the staff of Moses, there was a sapphire stone, which was the Tizohar, which is the primordial light of the Most High, which can do everything that I read from the Sefer Harazim. In addition to that, Moses had 260 names written on the staff. When they say 72 names, they really mean 72 on the left pillar, 72 on the right pillar, and 72 from the middle pillar. So they had 260 names. In addition, they had the whole Anabekos, the 42 name of the Most High, which also come from the 72. It is a technology that Moses used to achieve all the miracles in Egypt. Okay, all the plagues and everything that was not written. And also, that is the technology that he used for the splitting of the Sea of Reed, the Red Sea. The 72 names of God and the Anabekoak are Kabbalistic tools that assist you and I to rise above the influence of the laws of nature. Why? Because the power that powers this artifact come from a higher source, which is the Creator of the laws of nature. It will enable you. It will enable you to overpower nature, to overpower the laws of nature. According to legend, the staff of Moses was lodged in the ground inside Jethro's home. All right? And Jethro, everybody will come to try to put it out, they couldn't. And they give a lot of money, whatever. Okay, you already know the story. So let's go. Let's read about it. This staff was lodged in Jethro's home. Jethro, the Midianite priest, knew that the staff possessed tremendous spiritual powers, offered a lot of money. Also, the hand of his daughter in marriage to anyone who could dislodge the sword of Moses from the ground. This is your Excalibur. When Moses came to the house of Jethro, he pulled the staff out of the ground, releasing the staff to its rightful owner. Remember, I told you, you have to be chosen to receive the sapphire stone, the Tizohar, the primordial light. The staff of Moses was chosen from the beginning, from the time of creation, set aside for Moses. No one else. No one else. Okay? No one else. So now, who else help us receive this information besides the seraphim messengers? Forgive me. Beside the archangel or the angel Raziel, we go into the keys. We find out angelic hierarchy, and we read about the seraphims, the ophanims, and the Elim of the heights. Okay? The seraphim, keys of Enoch, keys 303, page 367. Okay, we read number 58. There is another order of light, which is called the order of the seraphim, seraph. These are the angels of light. These are the angels that walk with you on the earth. Every single one of you are assigned to seraphims. And one day when you cross over, you will meet them. You will know who they are. And as you ascend, if you complete your spiritual journey on the earth and you ascend the proper way, one day or so, you can become a seraphim. All right? We'll get into the seraphims family from the Urantia. These seraphim messengers, the order of the seraphim, are the princely guardian intelligences which control the major pictographs monitoring the lower heavens. What else do they do? Without receiving the baptism of seeing the Shekinah light from the seraphim, you are not able to come out of this world. This is why the seraphim, they were the one who took the Ark of Noah. All right, they sent the proper ark for your exodus, for your exit. Okay, you're not leaving this earth if the seraphim don't take you out. So nobody's going to space. Okay, you cannot pass through the lower firmaments. You cannot see all the rulers and all the lords and all the gods of all the great invisible and local universe without the Shekinah light, the baptism of the Shekinah light from the seraphim messengers. They govern interplanetary governments of intelligence that are connected to specific consciousness zones. The seraphim open men's eyes to work with the government of the higher evolution. They structure the government of light, which is necessary in the merger of different planetary worlds under a unified wisdom. Now, for you to even travel, to know about all these planetary worlds, you will have to have a basic knowledge or a very in-depth understanding of the astrolabe. Okay? The wisdom is manifested from the Ancient of Days through the Father revealed to the newborn creation as the recent of days. Okay? The seraphim have been chosen to manifest the government of light, the government of the primordial light, because they know how to associate the right wisdom with the right planets in accordance with the Father's master's plan. This is why tonight you are receiving properly, the proper way. You are receiving, okay, the information on the astrolabe properly, not how you would Google it. You are receiving this properly because the seraphim messenger's light is all over this message. Why? Because they know how to associate. They know how to manifest the government of light, and they know how to associate the right wisdom with the right planets according with your consciousness. All right? And now over here, it talks about how you are different. We're not going to get into that, but we'll get into that some other time, family. So you have the seraphim that lifted the Ark of Noah. You have the ophanims. The The Ophanims are messengers of primordial light from the higher heavens of the Father. Okay? They are uniquely placed at the crossroads of space as the network for governing and implanting new realization. When the prophets of the ancient civilization made contact with the higher worlds, they used the astrolabe for that. When they made contact with the higher worlds, invariably, the contact was made through the Ophanim messengers of light by using the astrolabe. The Ophanim carefully select individuals in each of the planetary societies who have the ability of proper or prophethood. Okay, they carefully select individuals in each of the planetary societies. All right, subterranean or on this earth right now, Earth 1, Earth 2, all right, wherever it is, the Rechabites, wherever. They choose you who have the ability of prophethood, and they carry the overstanding to you. Okay, they give you the overstanding of the higher creation. So they give you Kabbalah. Kabbalah stands for that which is received. Kabbalah is knowledge of the higher heavens received by the Most High or his angelic emissaries. All right. The Ophanims, they also do this. They are crucial. They supervise crucial aspects of the heavens, and they protect the higher teachings from falling into the hands of the lesser forces of light. This is why you don't see anybody walking around with an astrolabe, because that artifact is being protected by the Ophanim messengers, because it cannot fall into the hands of a lesser force of light. Demons, devils, people with low frequency cannot fall into the hand. Now, you got to be chosen to have this artifact. All right. So this is where we're going to stop right here. Oh, forgive me. Then we have the order of the cherubim. They are emissaries of the primordial light. These angelic order of higher intelligence, they function as a keeper of celestial documents. So there you have it. These celestial documents, which were presented to you tonight, were also being ordered to you. Okay, they were also being guided from me to you, or from the cherubim emissaries to you. Why? Because they are the higher intelligence which functions as the keeper of the celestial documents. All right, they have celestial documents, celestial knowledge that lead you to celestial technology. This is where we are. This is it. This is the information of the astrolabe that the Most High brought to you tonight. Once again, thank you to Brother Jerome Johnson for hitting me up with this information several months ago. It wasn't time to go into it. Now, with greater understanding, we're giving all honor and praises to the highest. Family, meditate on this information. Pray on it. Ask the Most High to reveal this to you. There are 7 qualities of spirit you can begin to develop now to experience Eden in the flesh, right here, right now in Malkut. All right, you don't have to experience Eden when you cross over. Matter of fact, if you're not experiencing Eden here, you will not be able to experience Eden crossing over, because you have to cross over experiencing Eden right now. You have to repent of your sins, your evils, your iniquities. Repent of your minds, the not having the proper mindset. Okay, repent of not doing the work of holiness and righteousness, not having the proper relationship with creation. Repent of all kinds of things. You will know what to repent for. You have to have a solid relationship with the Most High. You have to cultivate the relationship, sort of like a seed that you plant, and you have to water the seed, give it sunlight, let it germinate, take care of it, pay attention to it like a pet that you have. You have to feed it on time, give it showers, to spend time. So like your children or your wife, you got to spend time, quality time, have conversation. That's how you got to treat the Most High. Most High says, speak to me like a friend. So you cannot be a stranger. You have to develop your relationship. You have to look for repentance and reproval wherever it can be found. You have to keep forgiveness in your back pocket. I forgive everybody who ever hated on me, everybody who hate me, everybody who's jealous, Everybody who have all types of vices that they're dealing with, who have that negative emotion, whenever they hear my name, the heart jump, it skip a beat. I forgive you, man. I don't have no place in my heart to carry loads of hate. No, this is the time of love powered radiation. Love powered radiation come through to destroy your hate cells, your bitter cells, your all types of cancerous cells. Love powered radiation. Use the astrolabe to locate love, to locate kindness, to locate thankfulness, gracefulness, to locate compassion. Use the astrolabe to locate in your life some celestial attributes, family. Okay, you have to have that relationship with the Most High so you can be led to greater knowledge. All praises to the highest, the great I am, loving kindness, the holy great one, the power of the Yahudims, family. Until we meet again, Shalom.